Hello and welcome to my Ghost of Tsushima historical review. This is just a little bit of a gameplay footage. I'm not an expert gamer by any means, and I'm just going to take you through what I see. And then yeah, we'll we'll kind of grade it towards the end of the video. All right, so this is the very beginning. No, I didn't expect anything. I mean, this is all stylistic. Oh, look at this. Okay, the sashimo flags, sashimono, I should say actually. Uh, I love these. These are so incredibly Japanese. This this is a good choice. And I seriously considered actually picking the Kurosawa mode, but felt like this one would probably be better for me. All right. So Tsushima, Japan, of course, goes to Tsushima. Okay, off the back, that helmet doesn't look quite right. Uh, Beautiful scenery though. Those guys, those foot soldiers in the red, that does not look right. Hopefully we'll get a better look at those guys later. Okay, yeah, this armor right here, this is, we gotta talk about this. So I'm there. Of course, there's going to be some stylistic. I mean, this is a video game. If you expect to get 100% history out of a video game, I kind of think you deserve to be disappointed. But this automatically, the helmets are completely wrong. The helmets, the hanging pieces, the shikaro would be much wider. The I'm not getting that great of a look at the bowls, so that might be a little bit different. But yeah, that would definitely be different. And the armor they're wearing itself actually looks like a much later period armor, even entering into the Sengoku Jidai, the you know early 16th century, maybe late 15th century armor. And what they should be wearing is they should be wearing oyori. Like this would be oyori. See, it's a lot more boxy. It would be pretty heavy too. The osore, which is the large shoulder pauldrons, that's okay. That's pretty good. And yeah, the chest plate that they're wearing, or cuirass, or do in Japanese, actually almost looks like a domaru, which would look like this, which was very favored for people who would want to be on foot. But you, I could be wrong, but so far that's the big thing I'm seeing so far.
我が方は80無勢なれど対馬の民を守らねばならない今日俺はこの命を捨てる船が海を覆っている
Yeah, that's pretty accurate to how the Mongols were. So during this invasion, one thing that really screwed the samurai up is that they were used to more ritualistic fighting, a lot of more one-on-one fights, and the Mongols didn't play that. The Mongols played to win. If it was a case of 7 versus 1, they would do that because they have no interest in an honorable duel. Their idea is to kill you. Okay, this guy right here, he has the guy that just rode off. He has much smaller sode, and which once again, that's that shoulder pauldron. That wasn't something that they were really doing in this time period. The atmosphere is just great, though. This is going to be our, I guess, our big bad guy. His armor looks really cool. I can't really speak to the historical accuracy of this guy's armor. I imagine it's not 100% historically accurate, but the Mongols also had money, so maybe. Okay, this right here. Yeah, so this was something that the Mongols did. If you were an enemy of the Mongols, you could be boiled alive in oil, decapitated. There was all kinds of horrible things that could potentially happen to you. Being an enemy of the Mongols meant that absolutely no mercy would be shown to you. So them showing this so early in the game, it sets the right tone for what was really on the line. So brutal but good. Yeah, that the shock that the samurai are experiencing would be pretty accurate. The first time that they fought the Mongols was a complete and utter culture shock. So, and this was my first experience playing. It's this scene is really cool. Although I will say this though, the sword that he's using, the katana, he should be using a tachi, which would be longer. It would typically they would have a lot more curve too. But you know, it's like I said, this is a video game, so I expect there to be some creative license that they do. That armor does still bug me though. Okay, so these are like the red foot soldiers that I was talking about earlier. Let's see if I can get a closer up look at these guys. Okay, yeah, I mean, these guys are kind of a hodgepodge. The Shikaro that they have actually kind of looks like it was styled after some Harate. I mean, I could be wrong. The helmet itself could have some historical accuracy at some point, but it definitely wasn't a common helmet at all. This is not what a foot soldier in this time period would have looked like. So that is much later period, which seems to be the theme that so far in this game, that a lot of the armor is later period as opposed to the correct time period. And like I said, this is a video game, so that's okay, but it's good to be aware of. It's good to be aware of. And one thing I will say that I do love is when they're showing you how to fight these different enemies, you have to approach a spearman and a man using a shield a lot differently. A shield really does give you a great advantage in combat. That should not be overstated, and that's one of the reasons why I found in this game so far that shields and spears do give me trouble, as they should, because a sword versus a spear or a man using a shield should be a lot more difficult. So that's good. This was another great example of that brutality I was talking about with the Mongols earlier. In this little scene, it looks like the Mongols had tied them up and used them as target practice, which is very accurate. They were very brutal, so that's that's definitely something that you would see, and it really does set the mood correctly. This jumped out at me too. This is a Mongol tent. This is called a Gurug, if I'm yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. Gehrig. Now, when uh, I heard about the theme of this game, one of the things that did worry me is that they would just simply do just simple tents, and I was very pleased to see that they didn't do that at all. This is, from what I can tell, this is pretty accurate, and I really applaud them for actually including this in the game. It's not something you get to see a lot, and it gives a lot more authenticity to the Mongols. So, yeah, kudos to them for that. This is pretty awesome. So, this scene we're definitely going to have to talk about. This is the scene where he watches his dad die. And when you look at his armor, this this is much later period armor. In fact, this almost looks like the armor that Yujiro from The Last Samurai would have had on. So yeah, this armor in every respect would not be in this time period at all. Okay, so the other thing that really stood out to me that was inaccurate were actually the horses in this game. Now, these horses almost look like American horses or Arabic horses because of how tall they are. The Mongolian pony was that. It was a pony. It was a very sturdy, hardy animal. And that was really the reason why the Mongols used this animal, is because it was a creature that they could travel great distances with and it wouldn't die. It didn't need as much water. It wasn't necessarily the fastest creature, but as far as stamina is concerned, it could outlast pretty much any animal. And yeah, these are not Mongolian ponies. Now, it's possible that they could just be saying like, okay, well, the Mongols have captured China and Korea, so maybe that's where these horses are from. Although I'm not too confident about those species. And the we're going to get a look very soon of the Japanese horse, and I've got a lot to say on that too. But this is they really did capture the beauty of Tsushima Island. I did hear someone say that there's not enough diversity, but this is an actual place, so this is accurate. Yeah, so see, the Japanese horses are also incorrect. Japanese horses would be much smaller, and they're kind of they were a lot like the Mongolian pony, but they are just a different animal. And a sad thing is that the most of the Japanese horse breeds are actually they're mostly critically endangered. So that's really sad. But yeah, it would have been nice to see them use correct horses, but I also understand why they didn't, and most people won't know anyway. So, in closing, I'd just like to say I absolutely do appreciate this game. I really admire what Sucker Punch has accomplished. And honestly, despite this entire video, which does make it sound like I was complaining, I love this game. This is absolutely incredible. And more than that, I think that this is a great stepping stone for what could be in this game. And I'll give you an example. So, you have two weapons, primary weapons, I should say. You have your katana and you have your yumi, or your bow. Actually, I should say your hankyu, because it's a half bow. Which brings me to my next point. They could easily expand on this game. So, not to ruin this for anyone, and it's not really that big of a spoiler if you've Googled the Mongol invasions, but there was more than one. There was a second Mongol invasion. And what that says to me is that there's DLC potential for this game. And they could expand it with maybe the full bow, the full longbow, the Yumi. Maybe they could even do the Naginata, which I would absolutely love. I would be in absolute awe if they allowed us to even use some of the Mongol weapons. And there could be more armor. There's a potential for period accurate armor added on. This doesn't seem like a game that won't have DLC. It definitely should. Maybe even a sequel, although I'd rather have DLC, if I'm being honest. And I'm just absolutely blown away. And I know I'm rambling, and I hope you're sticking with me throughout this. But yes, they absolutely did create an amazing game. And I can't wait to see what else Sucker Punch has in store for us with this game. Now, if you can, definitely like and share this video. Make sure you're subscribed. Click the bell if you want. And also, give me your thoughts on this game. I'd love to hear what you like, what you dislike, what you'd like to see added to this game. Because I think that's where the real exciting part about this game is what could be added. Alright, so that's going to be the end of this video, and yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of this clip, and yeah, thanks, see you next time.
nicht zu euren Hunger!